This is the gargoyle of the front row fanatics, and you're watching my two good friends on Top Rope Reality.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 4 of episode 148. We're so much closer now to our big year ender here, folks.
Right around the corner.
Ending out 2017, heading into 2018, where Top Rope Reality will get bigger and better
Every year.
every year.
Every year.
But let's finish up with this week, then we'll continue on next time with our big year ender. We'll have
The Toppies.
the Toppies will be back. We'll do our Hall of Fame.
Gotta have a Hall of Fame.
Plus news and all our other great stuff here at Top Rope Reality. Let's go and do now the 12 roster moves WWE must make right now. And number 10 is Dana Brooke to NXT.
That's what we talked about.
We just talked about it. Like we know what's coming up.
Right? I didn't even know that was coming up. We are a year and a half removed from Dana Brooke's main roster debut, and she is every bit as terrible a wrestler now as she was when she was caught up. Now, this is not our opinion.
No, it's not.
This was an article that we're talking to y'all about. In her defense, she has a presence about her that undoubtedly exudes charisma as a performer, where she clearly didn't learn much from Charlotte Flair while serving as her protege in 2016. Since splitting from the Flair family earlier this year, she has been as directionless as can be, often embarrassing herself whenever she's been in action on Raw in recent months. It's pretty apparent that she needs more seasoning in the ring. It will benefit big time from a second stint in NXT. She was a prominent player in the promotion's women's division back in 2015 and had one of the best bouts against Asuka in TakeOver Respect. With Asuka now headed to the main roster, she's there now. And NXT women's scene nearly depleted. Which is, well, not now because they're starting to bring in the Mae Young Classic.
And that makes it worse because I don't remember even taking Asuka at TakeOver. And this past week on Raw, well, no, 2 weeks ago, Asuka beat her in like 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, yeah.
But yeah, they had a good match at TakeOver one time. Brooke can rise in the ranks fairly quickly and work with the likes of Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. So, I mean, they have a good point. Absolutely.
That is true.
Very good point. But she definitely needs more seasoning. She needs more time down there.
She does.
And I mean, it's not to say that it won't happen, because remember, Emma got put back down there, and that's when she met up with Dana Brooke. And I thought that was the best thing for Emma, was when them two were together.
Yeah.
They brought them up to the main roster together.
And they were working together, and Emma got hurt, yeah.
Emma got hurt, so they said, well, let's throw her with Charlotte, because she needs somebody with her. And that didn't last very long.
They should have sent her right back down to NXT.
And waited for Emma to come back, instead of that Emma line.
Yes. Next time on 12 roster moves WWE must make right now, number 9, the Brian Kendrick to SmackDown Live.
That would mean he would not be in the Cruiserweight division.
Well, I don't need to be in the Cruiserweight division. You know, there are Cruiserweights, some of them don't need to be.
Like a Tommy? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
It's pretty sad. Now we're up next, 10 WCW moments you totally don't remember. Number 6, Sting is a heel.
Few things were for definite in WCW, but Sting always being a hero people can rely on was one of them. Therefore, it was a massive surprise when the creative team turned his Dark Knight vigilante character into a spiteful crybaby in late 1999. Realizing their error, the writers quickly turned Sting back again. Smashing Hulk Hogan with a baseball bat at Fall Brawl 1999, Sting continued to get cheered despite trying his hardest to be mean. Maybe fans just didn't want to boo Sting, or perhaps it had more to do with the fact Hogan had been the figurehead of the NWO for years, and whatever the case, Sting's heel run flopped. This was the first and only time Sting ever played a full-blown heel throughout his lengthy career. There's a reason for that. Some guys are just more believable as babyface, and Sting is one of them. Even WCW's announcers had forgotten about this turn weeks later. And that's true. I remember that. Because it was him and Luger. Luger and Hogan were having a feud. Luger was the heel this time he had Miss Elizabeth with him. And he also appeared to be feuding with Sting. Luger did. And like Miss Elizabeth spraying people in the eyes. She was doing all that with spray bottle and stuff. And then Sting came running down there, looked like he's about to help Hogan because of all the cheating and stuff, and instead took the baseball bat and hit Hogan with it. And, like, it made sense what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Because for years, you know, Luger would always turn on Sting, so it was like, okay, well, now we're going to explore a different realm, and kind of like the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn thing, that face finally understands where the heel's coming from and turns heel. It could have been executed better, but it is true. It is true that, you know, Sting's kind of like Ricky Steamboat. Never needs to be a heel.
No, it don't.
It just does not work.
It doesn't.
Now, he did the crazy thing with the Joker Sting in TNA, and that worked. But he wasn't a heel, really. And even with the Main Event Mafia, all of them acted heel except for him. It's just very interesting.
And when he was a Horseman.
That's true. They were all heel, and he wasn't. That's
Uh,
very weird stuff.
And when he won the challenge Flair.
They're going to beat you down now.
Yes.
But next time, when we do 10 WCW moments you totally don't remember, we're going to do number 5, which is Goldberg refusing to follow the script.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy, Goldberg getting his panties in the wallwood.
Next, now we're going to go to 10 Things Duty Must Do at Starrcade 2017. Now,
Already happened.
Already happened. Heard it was a great show. Wish it would have been on the network.
Right. I mean, they had the Rock and Roll Express, and they had the Hardys come out and dance with the New Day, and Dustin Runnels came out as the Natural with that awful song of his. He came out with the Gold Dust sound at first, with the Gold Dust jacket.
You call him the Natural. Natural's his name.
There you go.
I don't know the rest.
You don't know the rest?
I'm trying to think of it.
Natural! He's a natural! Yeah, it was stupid. But anyway, so yeah, I liked how he came out with the jacket and everything, and then he, the music changed, he took the jacket off, and he had the old gear on, you know?
And they loved it.
And they really did love it, and he did the whole elbow thing, and did the whole tribute to Dusty, and it worked.
Yes.
It's supposed to be in a good show, but let's see if they did what they should have done, which this one was create a retro-themed set, and it was just a house show set.
Right. Now, the graphics were different.
Or the old
Were
Starrcade
retro,
look?
yes.
Okay.
Now, the graphics were different.
It says, get that HD set out of here, WWE. It has no place on an event titled Starrcade. And we don't care if it is 2017 either. Remember that old entrance ramp the NBA and WCW used? You know, the one that was level with the ring and allowed for endless back body drops out of the ring onto it? Bring that back. Please don't.
That would have been different.
It would have been different, but come on.
I know, I hate
That long ramp, I never liked that thing.
I didn't like it either.
At the very least, give us old school fans the chilling spectacle of a retro themed set that brings Starrcade memories flooding back. That unique ramp is an option, and so is that glittery blue curtain they used at Starrcade 94. This is way more important than it may seem at first. Starrcade 2017 cannot look like any other WWE show. Well, it did.
It is.
If the set just looks like same as Raw, SmackDown, or any other random pay-per-view, then you're missing a trick. Yes, a modern update on old sets is acceptable, but let's avoid making this seem run-of-the-mill. That's why the 94 set would be perfect. It looked like a house show anyway. Still looked like a house show, but they did have the old Starrcade look, sort of like, you know, that right there.
Right.
They had the old Starrcade, you know, name to it and the graphic to it, but it was just a house show set.
It was.
That's life.
It is. Oh, next time they, what they did.
And they kind of did that with Dustin.
Yeah, pay tribute to Dusty Rhodes. So, I already know what's going to happen in the future because we do know they did.
Number 8, they did that, but we'll see what this person feels like.
Yes.
How they need to pay a tribute to him.
And now let's run over to our next thing.
There's a lot of people with opinion on this. 'Cause I thought we were done with this book.
We got like 2 or 3 left.
Woo! Lord, everybody got to have a say on it, don't they?
Everybody got to have a say.
Everybody.
That it was not fake.
Yes, it was.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Knew what was going to happen.
Nobody.
It was a shock to everybody. That's what we're going to make it. That's what we're making comic books about it because it was so heartbroken to everybody. We can't make money off of it.
No.
No, definitely not. We're going to talk about the Montreal Screwjob and the stories, backstage stories. And this week's story is from Shawn Michaels. He gives his side.
Oh. Brett's longtime rival Shawn Michaels played one of the largest roles in the incident, considering that he was the one in the match against Brett. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Shawn still remembers the incident as the most uncomfortable day of his career. The way I feel about that night is one thing that hasn't changed over the years. It is still the most uncomfortable day of my career. It was unlike any other day I ever had. Shawn would lie right to the face of Brett following the match when asked if he had anything to do with the incident. We have learned since that Vince McMahon wanted to take 100% responsibility for what happened. Back then, it was very important to Vince. He took the brunt of everything. In theory, that's a nice, noble gesture on his part. But as I told him then, and it's still the case now, the reality is I was the one having to do it. I pulled the trigger. Shawn is right. Regardless of Vince wanting to take the full fall, there is no way for him to escape the heat of the incident. Brett never really blamed Shawn for what happened and saw him as just a pawn in the big picture. The two have since reconciled from all their personal drama that took place over the years. And still to this day, Canada has not forgiven him for it.
No.
They still boo him. That's why. Good thing he's not on the road all the time.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't go to Canadian shows anymore. But every time when he was a face and everything on Raw, they booed him every time.
Yeah.
10 years later, they still booed him. So.
I know. They don't forget.
Oh no, they don't hold a grudge at all.
Never.
No.
Well, next time we hear from Sergeant Slaughter on what happened backstage.
Slaughter. He's
Oh,
spitting.
sorry, everyone, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, he's always spitting.
He was. You maggot! Yes.
I love when they. I love when DX had the headgear over and it had wipers on them. That's funny. I was spitting.
That was good. But next time here at Top Road Rally, we will have our big year ender.
Big year ender, which means, of course, toppies.
Look at that, Toppies.
Which also means Hall of Fame for the Top Rope Reality Hall of Fame. Not the Could Be, Would Be, Should Be Hall of Fame.
No.
Our very own
Our
Top
Hall of
Rope
Fame.
Reality Hall of Fame.
Plus, we'll go over some ringside news, pro wrestling review, the Monday Night Wars, and March. We'll do March of
Of
'97.
course.
We'll finish up almost with the Montreal Screwjob and a few other WCW. Who should go where? Who has done this? Who hasn't done this?
Yes, and of course Goldberg and getting his panties in a wad, not
Yes.
going by the script.
That's right.
All that, so much more.
So much. Always so much more. Now you get to see why March is so bad.
I
for
will
long.
see it.
Just remember how fair it was and now look at March. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just
And
caught.
I want to thank you for watching this week and tune in next time for the big year because it's going to be so big as we head into Christmas and the new year.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cop.
We'll see you next time. You got to come up with something better than point.